Training for aesthetics simply means to adjust your training style in order to maximize growth in the areas that lead to you having the idealistic V-taper. Today I'll be focusing on how I train my upper body pushing muscles, which is your chest, shoulders and triceps, in order to achieve this. Building an aesthetic masculine physique to me comes down to 7 key elements: broad capped shoulders, wide upper back and lats, a built but defined chest, a thick neck, fuller arms, a tight waistline, and teardrop legs. These 7 elements will give you the very idealistic V-taper, which is basically just an upside down triangle. Very angular, very sharp, very domineering. You look like you have a sense of presence about you, like you take up more space. But these muscle groups have to be in proportion with one another, or else you just end up looking a bit silly. Okay, so firstly, some myths need to be addressed when it comes to training for aesthetics. Number 1, you need to lift heavy. No, you do not. When it comes to training for aesthetics, it's about focusing on your form and execution of the exercise. Because of that, you will probably need to lower the weights to about 70% maximum of what you can actually do. When it comes to training for aesthetics, it's not about how much weight you're lifting, it's how you move that weight. Number 2, your rest times must be short. Now, most people would disagree with me on this one, but I believe that your rest times should be closer to like 90 to 120 seconds rather than your 30 to 60 seconds. This is because when you're training for aesthetics, you're going to be doing higher volume in order to achieve hypertrophy, which is basically just muscle growth. And because of that, your volume is going to be quite high. In order to maintain the form and maintain the intensity, you're going to need longer rest times so you don't suffer fatigue as early into the exercise. So because of that, I think your rest times should be aiming for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, instead of what you may see online, which says like 30 seconds and 60 seconds, things like that. Number 3, it's all down to your genetics. Yes, your genetics will play a role in how your muscle insertions are, which will affect how you look, but anyone can get the V-taper by just training the key muscle groups necessary to achieve it, so this is pretty negligible. But with that being said, let's get into the workout. Okay, so on my chest days, I will only do 3 exercises, but I rotate between 6. Let me explain. For an aesthetic physique, your focus should be on your upper chest, not your mid, not your lower. This is what's going to fill up your top and is what's going to give you that shelf look. So this is the first thing I train when I get in the gym. So I will rotate between incline barbell bench press and incline dumbbell bench press, both done at a 45-degree angle. The movement is effectively the same, but the execution is slightly different. With a barbell, I can focus on the form and the actual force exerted, while with dumbbells, I can focus on getting a squeeze at the top of the movement. So rotating between the two I find to be quite effective at building an upper chest. So for me, the reps and sets go as such. Your first set is just a warm-up. I will do this with just the bar. This is just to form check and make sure that nothing's like aching me or anything like that. Second set is 20 reps at about 50 to 60% of my 1 rep max. Third set, 12 reps at 70% of my 1 rep max. And the fourth set is going back to your 50 to 60%, but for 15 reps. You probably will not make it to 15 reps, but that is kind of what I'm aiming for. And the rest is roughly 120 to 150 seconds in order to make the volume count with good form. The second exercise is an incline neutral grip dumbbell press. This exercise I find to be very good because the incline still puts emphasis on the upper chest, while the hand position makes the movement seem like I'm doing a fly without actually doing a fly. It's very good for that mid chest. I may sometimes substitute this exercise for a normal flat barbell bench press, but this is quite rare at the moment, so I don't really incorporate it that much. But I will do this for 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps. The last exercise I do is a seated machine chest press with a higher seated position, just to hit that lower to mid chest area, or I will do high to low cable flies. This is excellent for getting that stretch in that mid to lower chest that increases your overall width. I will do this for 4 sets, 12 to 15 reps. Okay, so for shoulders, on my push days, I only do my interior, which is your front delts, and laterals, which is your side delts. I leave my posterior delts for my pull days because it just worked better for me. So for my interior delts, I do the classic dumbbell shoulder press, supersetted with dumbbell front raises. A superset is when you do 2 exercises, that's 3. When you do 2 exercises back to back, one after the other, they usually hit the same muscle group, and for me, the second exercise is usually an isolation movement. I do this for 4 sets, 10 to 15 reps each. To build your lateral delts, just spam lateral raises. You go heavy, go light, do full reps, half reps, I really believe you cannot overtrain this muscle, and it is critical for getting that cap lock for your V-taper. For me, this is another superset. I go heavy, 10 to 12 reps, allowing for a bit of momentum and swing, but holding at the top of the movement for just a split second and then controlling on the way down. From this, I go straight into a lighter weight, usually about 50% of what I just did, for at least 15 reps, but aiming for 20 to 25. And this is just a flat burnout. I will start off with full reps. If I can't do a full rep, then I'll switch to half reps. And the point is to be minimum with your rest times. Just make it to the rep count. When I do this, I also use a maximum incline bench, and this is usually just to avoid cheating. So I'll just put my chest on it, as you can see in the video. That's just to make sure I do not cheat on my form. I will do 4 to 5 sets of this, very, very high volume. So for triceps, I like to do what I call a triple threat, which is like a superset, but you're doing 3 exercises instead of 2. First up is tricep pushdowns with a straight bar, allowing for a slight pivot in the shoulders to get a little bit of extra stretch, but keep it under control. I do this for 20 reps. Second, I switch to a reverse grip tricep pushdown. Even though these 2 exercises are roughly the same and they both work the lateral head, I've noticed I get a lot more of a horseshoe shape because the reverse grip works the medial head more than the standard grip. And I will do this for 10 reps. The third movement is the same as the first. It's normal straight bar tricep pushdowns, but I'm only doing this for half reps, and it's 15 reps in total as opposed to the 20 before. Each time I am dropping the weight on the cable machine by about 5 or 10 kg. Those 3 movements make up your triple threat set, and you do that 3 times. Lastly, I will do burnout of dips, tricep dips, as well as a burnout of push-ups. The dips work the lower chest and the triceps, or the long head of the tricep, while the push-ups work your anterior delts, mid-chest, and triceps as well. Very good for a pump, and it completely tires you at the end of the workout. And that's it. That's my current push routine for aesthetics. The reason I train it in that order, as in chest, shoulders, triceps, is because my chest movements utilize my shoulders and triceps as secondary muscles. If I was to train the shoulders and triceps first, then I would risk hindering my chest movements if those muscles were to fatigue before my chest did. By doing it this way, I do not compromise the intensity of the workout. As you'll see in my pull day, I apply this as well. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss any more of my future content. As I just said, my next upload will be my pull day for aesthetics, so you will want to be here for that. But until then, I've been Tahir Sutherland, and I'll see you at the top.